to help you walk in wholeness, thrive with economic stability, and be aware of social responsibility. This session tonight, titled Transforming Your Life, focuses on tips for securing work with this current environment. The company California Conservation Corps will share information about current positions open, how to apply, and enhance success in their company. The tips that they are going to provide you tonight are tools that you can use throughout your career path. Serving as our moderator this evening is Dana Howard, Director of Communications, Outreach, Recruitment, Enrollment for California Conservation Corps. Please welcome Dana Howard.
Very good, Keith. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate that welcome, and it is so good to be here. And thank you to everyone for participating in this master class, where we are going to share with you how the California Conservation Corps can truly transform lives, and your life specifically. So I want to give us a few little instructions before we get going about this meeting. One, I'm going to ask everyone to make sure that your microphones are muted. You're going to have a chance to share stuff in just a little bit, but I want to make sure for right now your microphones are all muted. If you do have a question, go on down to the bottom of the screen where it says chat and click on there. Submit your questions. You can do it right online during the presentation, and we'll be able to do more chatting afterwards. So if you have questions immediately, go ahead and put them on. We have folks there that will answer your questions immediately. And we will be able to share some of them as well when we get towards the end of the class. On top of that, please, this is the most important part. So go up into the right-hand corner of your screen, click on that little view button up there, and I'm going to do it with you right now, just so that we make sure we have it exactly right. If it's not on speaker view, put it on speaker view right now. That's the best way to be able to see this. Put it on speaker view, not gallery view, not full screen, but on speaker view. And that way you're going to have the best experience for this class. I want to as well give a huge thank you to Ray King and Al Abdallah from the Urban League of San Diego County for sponsoring this master class, and to Key as well for helping get everything organized and stay on track. So we really do appreciate this opportunity to be able to share with you what we believe are truly life-transforming benefits that you can get from being in the California Conservation Corps for a year or even longer. So on the call today are recruiters that can answer your questions immediately. But on top of answering your questions, talk with them about just what it's like to be in the California Conservation Corps, because they've been there. They know the centers in the San Diego area, but as well our residential centers. So one of our recruiters is Chris LaCourte. He is the recruiter at the San Diego Center. Chris, wave to everybody, say hello. All right, very good then. And Chris has been with the California Conservation Corps at the San Diego Center for years and has so much information about what it takes to successfully get everything that you can out of the California Conservation Corps, and it's a lot. Also, we have Gemma Kapua. Now, Gemma is at our Vista Center, and that is our Vista Energy Center, where it is totally focused on getting you ready for a career in energy conservation. So field the questions to Gemma. We're going to hear from Gemma later on in the class, but if you have questions immediately, go ahead and toss them over to Chris and to Gemma, and they'll be reaching out to you as well to find out how we can get you to enroll in the California Conservation Corps. All right, so that's all the instructions and a quick little introduction to our team in San Diego. We're going to learn real quickly just about the CCC, give you a quick little tour of it so you have a basic understanding of it, and then you're going to hear from folks who are going to explain the real deal, the real story, if you will. So what you can expect in the California Conservation Corps is, one, you're going to be working outdoors. That's it. You're going to be working outdoors, and it's a great way to gain experience. Experience that can take you into meaningful careers in all sorts of avenues of state and local government and in private industry. And you will be able to make a difference both in your community and across the state. Now, there are some minimum qualifications, and they're very basic. It's not a whole lot. This isn't a competition for a job. This is a program where we're trying to help you. The state of California is trying to help you be able to get your life on track, get it to be where you want it to be. So you do have to be 18 to 25 years old, and you can be a veteran up to age 29. There's not a lot of wiggle room in those qualifications because that's what's written in the state law, that for this program, you have to be 18 to 25, veterans up to age 29. And you have to be able to pass a background check, a drug test, and a physical exam. Now, yes, re-entry young adults, you are welcome to apply because we want to be able to help you as well. Do not be intimidated about going and doing a live scan. You need to feel comfortable with that because unless you have murdered somebody or attempted to murder somebody, odds are you're going to be able to have a successful entry into the California Conservation Corps. So put the fears about background check behind you. We're going to take a look at it, whatever is on there, and we're going to give you every opportunity that we can to make sure that you get your life where you want it to be. All right, so information session. You got to attend one of those. And if you enroll, or excuse me, you submit an application, the next step is going to be, you got to do an information session, kind of like what we're doing right now, but it's a little bit more detailed. So in this one, we're going to find out, in this session, we're just going to find out a few things: who we are, what you will be able to do in the California Conservation Corps, and as well, what you can gain out of a year. So let's start off with who we are. So the California Conservation Corps was established in 1976. That was 45 years ago by Governor Jerry Brown when he was governor the first time. So you might remember Jerry Brown from 4 or 5 years ago. Well, he was also governor of California back in the 70s, and that's when he established the California Conservation Corps. So we're not a new state program. We've been around for a few decades now, and we have transformed thousands and thousands of lives through a year of paid service. Yes, you do get paid. You'll be doing some work, you'll be doing some training, going to school, education, both if you have not finished high school, you're going to finish it here in the California Conservation Corps. It's just the way it is. That's what we do. You can't come in and say, oh, I didn't finish high school, I don't feel like finishing high school. No, you will need to finish your high school diploma in the California Conservation Corps, and as well doing a lot of volunteering in and around your community to help make an impact. And what we're about is protecting our natural resources. Now, our motto is there. It's there plain as day because we're not going to kid around. This is work, and it's hard work. It's there in the motto: hard work, low pay, miserable conditions, and more. And yeah, that's the truth. Ask the Corps members, but it's that and more part that we're going to talk about. That's what makes the California Conservation Corps really worth your while. So what is it going to take to succeed in the CCC? Well, you got to be willing to commit to a year of service. This isn't the military, so if you don't finish out your year, it's not a problem. And if you want to go longer than a year, that's okay too. But we want you to commit to a year of service in the CCC. And you have to want to protect California's natural resources. That means our creeks, our streams, our deserts, our mountains, our forests, our animals, our energy. That's what we are here to protect. You have to as well you have to persevere, have your perseverance, meaning that it's going to be tough sometimes, but you got to get tough and keep going through the program. You're going to develop integrity, and that means that you're going to have character, heart, and that is one of the key traits that we want to, and characteristics that we want to see people emerge from the program with. And as well, you're going to have perspective to offer us, because just because we're the program, we're going to learn from you. And as well, embracing a lifestyle change. It's going to be different. You're not going to be able to carry your cell phone everywhere you go and talk on it and chat and text and all. It's going to be different, but it's going to be good. Now, the types of projects. that you'll be working on. You'll be doing some minor building construction in some cases in and around the San Diego area if you go to the San Diego Center. There you can also do trail building, do some non-native plant removal, meaning that you go out where there are plants that shouldn't be, and they are threatening our natural flora that is around in parks and in our forests, and those get removed. And we'll also do watershed restoration, meaning the creeks and streams going in and trying to get them brought back to life. There are a lot of opportunities. There's going to be some unique training that will lead you to meet the minimum qualifications to work at state and local government and departments like Caltrans and U.S. Forest Service and state parks. So that is a really good opportunity because they're out there watching you work and then picking you off and saying, hey, you might want to apply because we got some jobs here. And those jobs are well-paying, good jobs. And as well for energy conservation. Now, remember, that takes place over at the Vista Center in San Diego. You'll be doing energy audits and retrofits at schools and courthouses and public buildings and such. But this isn't about putting a new light bulb in a fixture. This is about taking the fixture down, doing the wiring, and putting a new fixture back up that's going to accommodate that energy efficient LED lighting. Those turn into jobs because that is a huge industry and business. And on top of that, folks leave there and get picked up immediately by companies that often are paying $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year to start doing things like managing and repairing and doing the maintenance on windmills. Yes, those big windmills that you see when you're driving out into the desert, somebody's got to do the maintenance on those. And those, there are companies that will pick our people up out of the Vista program and send them immediately to do that kind of work. So it's a really good program that can lead to great paying jobs. And then there's wildland firefighting, very, very popular for a lot of folks throughout the CCC. And what you'll be doing is that initial attack, digging that fire line, trying to stop that fire from advancing. You do a lot of mop up afterwards, putting out hot spots in the fire. And cutting down a lot of what we call fire fuel. That's the overgrown brush and plants and trees that will feed or fuel a wildland firefighter. So they will do that fuel hazard reduction. That leads to great jobs in CAL FIRE, U.S. Forest Service, national parks, Bureau of Land Management, BLM. Those are all the partners that we'd be working with, that you'd be working with. If you were doing wildland firefighting, meaning that those professionals are there watching you train and they're saying, hey, you would be good. You might want to apply to be a wildland firefighter. Now, we do a lot of emergency response. That means going out to the fire base camps and giving support out there, like what you see in the top right hand, where they are literally just stocking up a warehouse at the base camp, and that can go on for days. Likewise, what you see just below there is responding to where it is snowing and getting the snow off the roof before it makes the building collapse and could injure somebody or even start a fire. And then we do a lot of soil erosion and flood control work, especially that takes place after a fire has come through and then winter rains are coming and they'll wash all the mud and toxic debris down. We do a lot of erosion control and as well flood hazard response. So what you will do in the CCC, let's talk about that for a quick second. First, you're going to choose a location. You're going to figure out whether you're going to San Diego or Vista or Los Pinos up by Lake Elsinore, or one of the other residential centers around the state. Now, we have a couple dozen centers total that are around the state. The green ones that you see there on the map, those are non-residential locations, meaning that you've got to commute there every day. You'll live at home or or with family, and then you will commute there just like an ordinary job. But that's where you will get your training, and you'll go out to the field from there. The ones that are in the San Diego area are the San Diego Center, which is actually in National City, and the Vista location, which is the energy that's to the north of San Diego. Now, you will have residential locations. The closest to San Diego is what's called Los Pinos. It's a huge facility just north, or just, excuse me, outside, up the hill from Lake Elsinore. It's a great, beautiful place where they focus on wildland firefighting. And we also have from time to time, some tent camps around that you can get a special assignment to. So those are generally up in the mountains someplace, and you're doing a whole lot of forestry work. Now, when you live in a residential facility, everybody, no matter if they're in residential or non-residential, you're going to get a monthly stipend. I mean, a monthly check, $1,905 a month. Now, if you're in a non-residential, that $1,905, the whole thing is yours, because you still have to pay rent somewhere and buy your food somewhere. Now, if you're residential, you still get that $1,905, but what we take out is $400 a month, because there is no free lunch. You got to pay rent. So we take out $400 a month, but think about it. For $400 a month, you get a bed, roof over your head, bathroom, shower facilities, and laundry facilities. And if you look down the right-hand corner, yes, those are folks eating in the cafeteria there. And you get 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. Now, think about that. You got all your stuff, your room and board and your food for $400 a month. That's the deal. Now, if you're at a residential facility, one of the programs at a residential facility is culinary, meaning that you're going to learn how to cook professionally for institutions. That's a commercial food service. And you're going to get industry recognized certifications. In fact, I think that's what they're all holding up there in the picture over to the right, is their ServSafe certification. It's the minimum thing that you're going to need to be able to get a job in a commercial facility. So culinary programs are really an excellent, excellent program to do at one of our residential facilities. So what are you going to gain out of your time in the California Conservation Corps? Let's take a look at that. One, training. You're going to get conservation awareness. You're going to learn about just conservation, how to protect our natural resources on a day-to-day basis when you get back to your home. And indeed, how to get your career and get it jump-starting, get it developed. And we are also going to make sure that you leave us knowing how to work. That meaning that you're going to show up for work on time, show up for work ready to work mentally, and with all the tools that you need to do the work that you've been hired to do. So some of the certifications that you can get are learning how to operate a chainsaw. And that is really important for if you want to go do forestry work, for instance, with the Forest Service or Cal Fire or Parks, or you want to work for one of the companies that does that's an arborist company that does what's called tree felling. If you've heard before about the trees that fall and start a fire because they've fallen on power lines, well, the big utility companies like Southern California Edison and PG&E, they hire companies to cut down the trees beforehand so they don't fall on the fire lines. And where do you think some of our people end up? At those companies. Great paying jobs to learn how to fell trees. We also do training in hazardous waste. It was called a HazWhopper. We also do preparation for emergencies like doing wildland fires, floods, and pest response. You'll get your safe server food handler if you're at a residential facility. And on top of that, you can, at the Vista Center, get certifications in energy auditing and energy conservation. So you can join our special programs. Some of those include backcountry, where you go out in the woods for 6 months without any phone service, no electricity. You have to take a bath in a stream that's nearby or in a cold little water bottle that spray over the top of you. But the work you do is absolutely amazing, and it is one of the most popular, believe it or not, it is the most popular program that we have, Backcountry Trails. You can also do the Watershed Stewards and Veteran Fisheries Program. That's what you see the folks doing down in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Save the Sierra can get you ready for a career in forestry. You can go to Australia in our Australia exchange, meaning our core members go there and their core members come here for a few months to do conservation work. And as well, there are internships like with Caltrans that will get you ready for a career in Caltrans, the California State Department of Transportation. So you leave with those certifications in hand. You can also leave with your high school diploma, and you get paid while you are finishing your high school diploma. You can't beat that deal. So what else can you get? Scholarships. And you can get up to $8,000 in scholarships. $2,000 of it comes directly from us, and another $6,000 comes from the federal government. So after a year's worth of time, you are eligible up to $8,000 in scholarship. So our folks, they leave us with three things, three C's. We are the three C's, CCC. You leave with three C's. That is character, credentials, and commitment. And it leads to just different careers and different paths to success. Like this guy here, Jason Bott, who's now a maintenance aide with the state parks department in Old Sacramento. He's not off out in the woods someplace. They have a state park right in the middle of town near the Capitol, and he is a maintenance aide there. And the stories just abound, and we're going to hear some more of those stories. Meanwhile, you can jot down this number if you like, but as well, we're going to put it into chat for you so that you can call our 800-952-5627 if you are interested in enrolling, and you can go to ccc.ca.gov. So one of the folks I want to make sure that we get to right off the bat is our director, she was the director of our San Diego Center. She's just been promoted, and duly so, meaning that she well deserved that promotion. She is now the regional deputy director for the Southern California area, and as well, still has a really deep connection to the San Diego Center. But get this, folks. Her name is Sarah Weaver. She's up on screen now. And Sarah, you used to be a core member?
Yes, back many years ago, I was a core member in Northern California, residential and non-residential. So I've had experiences at both in Fortuna area, all the way up by the Oregon border.
That is now. I'm not going to pin you. I'm not going to pin you down on what year that was that you were a core member, but suffice to say, it's been a little while. But not long enough, I'm sure, for you to forget what it was like to be 18, 25 years old and trying to figure out what am I going to do and what the California Conservation Corps is going to. How's that going to help? It's hard work.
You know, Dana, I'm glad you asked, because I love to brag about my time in the CCC. You know, it was one of those experiences that changed my life. I thought I had a direction. I took a summer job and I loved it so much. I ended up, I made a career out of it. You know, we're many years later, which I'm not going to talk about. But, you know, I spent a year and a half, almost maybe 6 months as a core member. And then I was lucky enough to be able to promote as a crew leader. You know, we did fun work. It was hard. It was challenging every day. You know, I looked at it as like I get paid to work out and learn skills. You know, it was free fitness, and I got to work outside every day. Like Dana said, rain or shine, we were outside doing great work for the state of California. And I took that with me, and I wanted to come back, you know, and I decided to make a career out of it. And I feel very lucky that I did. It's a wonderful program. You know, the skills that you learn, whether it's office work to culinary to, you know, building trails, like Dana said. I mean, he gave you great lists of different things that you do.
Well, Sarah is now like one of our big bosses. She has really moved up the ranks in here, but has still a really strong connection with the centers that she oversees. So, Sarah, first talk about the San Diego Center, what it's like there, and what do you think is the best thing that people are going to get out of a year at the San Diego Center?
So the San Diego Center, like Dana said, is located in National City. It's right on the border of National City and Chula Vista, right off the 54. So it's easy access with bus routes and stuff like that. It's a non-residential center. People show up every day at 6 a.m. They do project work until 4:30. We do things like trails, non-native plant removal, fuel reduction, cutting down trees like this. So they're removing eucalyptus trees. And one of the really great programs that a lot of the Corps members try to get into is Wildland Firefighting, Type 2 Wildland Firefighting. You can receive a certification. You build up your fitness, and then all of a sudden you're on this fire crew and you're responding to incidents where you're doing mop up. And you can see the picture here is, they're called Palomar 6. They actually work hand in hand with U.S. Forest Service. It's a really great opportunity. A lot of people who are on this program, they end up leaving and getting jobs with Forest Service, even in the local area. With that said, I would say one of the best things that you can get from being at the San Diego Center, besides amazing relationships that you're going to form, you're going to get your high school diploma. You are required to study hard. So I would say you're going to get help with your high school diploma. You're going to get your driver's license. You're going to get great, amazing experience for a resume that's going to get you jobs with Caltrans. You can participate in an internship with Caltrans and go on to get landscape maintenance positions with Caltrans, full-time permanent state employment. Tons of people leave here to do that. We have people who work in parks and get jobs or get experience working in our county parks around San Diego. And then they go on to be park aides at different San Diego County parks. Sometimes, they're getting jobs with the city of San Diego, working in their parks department. So many, many opportunities.
Excellent. And so it's not the only center. We got the Vista Center as well. That's just north of there. Now, I know that you didn't directly oversee the Vista Center, but you had a whole lot of interaction and you're very familiar with them.
Yes. So, the Vista Center is located in Vista, California. It's off the 15 freeway and the 78. And, it's a smaller center. It's I believe three crews, and it's a non-residential center as well. So you show up and you work Monday through Thursday. Sometimes they do have night schedules. They travel quite a bit, but all of that, it's taken care of. Your food is provided when you're traveling, and I think one of the greatest benefits is the amount of education and training that the Vista Corps members receive in energy and retrofits. They get everything from Cal OSHA 10 safety training, electrical concepts, energy efficiency fundamentals. You get an introduction to wiring and lighting retrofitting, lockout, tag out information, all of these job skills and education and training to get these positions. Dana mentioned getting positions with solar turbines, making $45,000 a year to $60,000 a year, entry-level positions, just from training that they've had at the Vista Center. You learn, different safety skills, and some of the jobs, some of the specific jobs that Corps members have left the Vista Center and had are, like I was saying, jobs with solar turbines, energy jobs with SmartWatt, and there are navigators that do assist people in when they're getting ready to transition out of the Corps, whether it's to go to college or go to jobs. They've been helping get them into local electrical unions, if that's something that you're interested in. Just tons of opportunities out of the Vista Center. The Vista Center.
The Vista Center. And
Los Pinos up here.
No problems. And we just popped that one up on you, Sarah. But that's the new center that Sarah is in her district now. And so she oversees that one as well. And it's focused mainly on wildland firefighting, right?
Yes. So most of the work that's done at the Los Pinos Center is fuel management. They go and they cut fire line with Forest Service or with CAL FIRE, with BLM, you know, travel and stay in different areas and do wildland, fuel reduction projects. One of the big features is that this last year we've partnered with CAL FIRE, and the Corps members are able to be certified in Type 2 wildland fire as well, and be certified and respond to emergencies. And they are, you know, they responded to 20 emergencies over a period of, I think, 5 months this last summer. There's the fire crew with our director, Bruce Saito, you know, and the CAL FIRE captains. It's actually our 2 fire crews. And they, you know, they really come together as a crew. And I would say that one of the best things about being at the Los Pinos Center is the camaraderie that they've learned, the teamwork, part of being on a crew, and then responding to these fires. They've really, you know, the confidence that the folks there have had, it really is translating into them getting jobs. You know, very successful. It's a very successful program.
Yeah, that is an absolutely great center to be at. And if you saw some of the photos, no, those weren't homes. That was actually the center where the Corps members live. I mean, it's a beautiful center up in the mountains and pine trees, and it's very close by to San Diego. And in fact, Sarah knows that well, because for a while she was running both the San Diego Center and the Los Pinos Center and driving back and forth in the same day to each one. So it's a really amazing facility, and the opportunities just abound out of there. Now, one of the folks who was at the San Diego Center, and Sarah was there when he was there, is Deron Smith. Now, Deron was a Corps member and has gone on to bigger and I don't know, better, but it's definitely a bigger paycheck than what he was getting at the $1,905 a month in the CCC, but it paid off. And that's where we talk about the and more. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it's low pay. Yes, there are times, and Deron's going to tell you about it, it was downright miserable, but it paid off big time for Deron. So Deron, just share a little bit with us about where it started, because when you decided that you were going to come into the CCC, I believe you had just graduated from high school and were like, oh, okay, yeah, I got to get a job, and I got this.
Right, yeah. So I graduated high school in 2016. I joined the Corps, I believe, it's all a blur, but I want to say the end of 2017. Yeah, definitely. The end of 2017, and it was a choice that was made on a whim. I didn't really know much about the program. I was just looking for, that's me in the front, if anyone wants, you know, gotta shout that out. But it was on a whim, and it was one of the best decisions that I've made. You guys very much touched all the bases of what the program has to offer. And what I like to tell people is you have to work the Corps, or the Corps is going to work you. And what I mean by that is when you come into the Corps, just have your eyes open for all the opportunities. I'm looking at these slides now and I'm like amazed, like, wow, I wish I had time to go to Vista, you know? I wish I had time to do this, although I've done so much. Within my time at the Seas, I've went to Hurricane Michael, 2018. I responded there. I was on Palomar Crew 6 for 2 seasons, gone to various fires, and been all over California and San Diego. And I'm sitting here now like, man, I wish I can go back in, but it's paid off, and it's amazing that I'm here full circle, being able to see Sarah and Chris, and yeah, just knowing that now I'm with the city of San Diego in the Public Utilities Department, water construction. So it paid off. For sure.
Very good. I was about to say, so everybody take a close look at the logo on Deron's shirt.
Yeah.
So he is now in a job, and he shared the story with me earlier, but I'm hoping, Duran, you don't mind sharing it again, about this was not his first application to the city of San Diego. I think you told me you applied as soon as you got out of school. What happened?
Right. So I applied to the city of San Diego fresh out of high school. And a lot of these places, they expect you to have 3 years of experience, 2 years of experience. And it's like, okay, where do I go? How do I get the experience unless you hire me? And that's where a place like the CCC opens a lot of gates. It's almost like a degree in a sense. As soon as I slapped California Conservation Corps on the top of my resume, so many opportunities were open for me. And it's because the CCC is well known. You're going to be working hard. They know that you're going to have your hand in a lot of different areas, a lot of training, if you allow yourself to, spend the time there and get these trainings. So yeah, I'm happy that you brought that up. The CCC definitely was the changing agent for me that I needed to get into the city. And I was very adamant about it. I don't know if Sarah remembers, but our first conversations, I was telling her like, yeah, I want to get into the water department. I want to get into the water department. And then with the help of like navigators at the CCC and just all the opportunities they gave, it just happened after 2 years.
So I want to just tap on that one little bit more, because you had said that the employers, as soon as you put your the California Conservation Corps on your resume, that they said, yeah, we want to talk to you,
Yeah.
because they knew that you knew how hard work goes. So
Right.
So talk about that when you were in the seas, even when you were doing that hard work, there must have been days where you just said, these folks got to be crazy.
Oh yeah. When I joined, as a blue hat, everyone joins. You're at well, I wouldn't say the bottom because we're all at the bottom. 18 to 25, we're all trying to figure out, where we're going in life. But as a blue hat, I was like, all right, I'm gonna come in here, get my 12 checks and bounce. But I actually was invested. I think that's what a lot of people miss. They come to the C's and they just want to come and get their 12 checks. And if you do that, you're gonna leave feeling maybe robbed because of all the days that you sweated and you were hiking on a hill and you were, miserable. You forgot your lunch, like you're saying, the hard work part about it. But that and more is the difference right there. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Duran, thank you for sharing that. And I bet you don't forget your lunch no more, do you?
Oh, no. Well, actually, I don't work as hard, so I get to skip lunches.
All right, very good. Then Duran Smith, who is now with the City of San Diego Public Utilities in the Water Department there. Thank you for sharing that information and your experience with us all, because we're all, so many of us, even beyond 25 years old, are still trying to figure out where to go, what to do. And I am so glad that the CCC helped you find that space.
Thank you guys for having me. I wish I could share more, but yeah, thank you.
All right, very good then, Duran. Thank you so much. Oh, and I forgot to mention that, and Duran didn't tell you that CCC kind of runs in his family, that his father was a Corps member as well, and he's on tonight's call, I understand. So thank you so much, Duran. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for raising up a good kid and putting him over here to us and letting us be able to have that experience with him. So thank you so much for that. So I want to go on to one more area, and that is recruitment. Now, Gemma Capullo, who we introduced at the very, very top of the class tonight, she is a recruiter at the Vista Center, the Vista Energy Center. And we're going to talk with her just a little bit, because Vista, while Gemma was not in the CCC, what I wanted to make sure that she was here for is especially for young folks trying to figure out, just like what Duran was talking about when they get out of high school, because I'm not going to tell Gemma's age, but she could be a Corps member right now if she wanted to apply, because she's in that 18 to 25-year-old range. And so she sees a lot of young folks come through the Vista Center and trying to figure out, is this for me. So what I wanted to see, Jim, if you could tell us is that at the Vista Center, it's small, it's kind of off the beaten track, if you will, for people to get there immediately or see it. And it's with energy and things that may not be something that just really resonates automatically with folks who say, energy, what do we do? So talk to us about that. What is it that they do there, and what's going to be the big thing that they walk out the door with after a year or so in the CCC at Vista?
Definitely. Thanks so much for having me, San Diego Urban League, and for Dana for the introduction. At the Vista Energy Center, folks get valuable skills in how to conduct lighting retrofits and energy audits. Essentially, what those terms would be, energy audits are going into these buildings, taking a look at how much energy is going into the power outlets, the lighting fixtures, the HVAC, and all kind of mechanical systems, right, that keep the building up, running, and operational. So they'll analyze a bunch of numbers, calculate all this math, and present to places like courthouses, schools, nonprofit agencies. Say, hey, your energy is consuming. Here's, a calculation of how much your HVAC is used, lighting, and all these things. And so that's really big ticket kind of careers, especially if you're interested not only in lighting and electricity, but like in maintenance, whether it's HVAC systems, plumbing, or electricity. The other thing is retrofits, as Dana mentioned. Sometimes we get invited back to places to do the retrofit, essentially looking at the swapping things out so they run from the gas burning CF bulbs into the electric LED bulbs. So you'll get hands-on experience from the ground running, introduction to wiring and lighting fixtures and all of that stuff, as well as safety, important safety things, not working on live wires and lockout, tagout that Sarah had mentioned, among other things.
Oh, very good. It sounds like, oh, the lights turned off on you. There you go. No problems at all. So, Jim, I wanted you to see if you could just share with us what's on your mind when you hear about 18 and 25-year-olds coming in, because that's in your specific age group. That's where you are right now. And a lot of times they're coming in really just trying to figure out how I can get paid. And then you have to have that talk with them.
For sure. Definitely. It's one thing, sure, but as kind of during and as well throughout the session, definitely the CCC is hard work, low pay, miserable conditions, and more. And they stick their word to it. So definitely, if you were looking for something right after high school, I would definitely recommend coming to the CCC, open to learning some new skills. If it's not the technical skill, definitely you will learn a lot either about the careers you want to get into in the future, the kind of work environment and just environment that you want to be in, and or you will learn a lot about yourself, what you can do, and skills, those leadership skills, among other things, in the.
Yeah, you froze up a little bit there, but I am going to just squeeze in one more question. Hopefully your Wi-Fi will be able to hang on. Now, you were telling me a couple of days ago when I talked to you, and we talked because I am in recruitment and she's a recruiter, but how tight-knit, it's a different environment at the Vista Center because, folks there, they become family, don't they?
Definitely. I'm glad that you brought that up. Both many other CCC centers, you might get a larger center. Here at Vista, we actually house about 2 crews currently. That is about 20 core members or 20 folks here at the center. A lot of people make friends that they probably would have never met before out of high school. And a lot of the connections that they make here among themselves or among the staff, a lot of it is why they choose to stay. Like a lot of them will stick on past their year, stick through maybe a year and a half, be able to work with their friends every day. So that's been a great benefit for them, getting to meet new people, make new friends, and get to work with your friends every day.
All right, Gemma, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that insight into the Vista Center in San Diego. And as well, thank you, Sarah Weaver, our Regional Deputy Director in Southern California, for sharing your insight about all three of those centers, San Diego, Inland, and as well, the Los Pinos Center. And again, Duran, thank you for sharing your insight about and experience about being in the CCC. Before we get to about how folks can join, I just want to give a huge thanks to Al Abdallah and Ray King of the Urban League of San Diego County for arranging this masterclass and this opportunity. And if Al is still on camera, is he still there? I do see Al. Al, we're going to ask you, if you don't mind, to just say a few words about how the Urban League of San Diego County can help folks who are interested in enrolling or having their clients enroll in the California Conservation Corps. How the Urban League is playing into that.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Dana, and to all those that are on the call. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your evenings to listen in. We've had a wonderful working relationship with the CCC dating back to 2019. We feel it's a great opportunity for young people to get their high school diploma, to get not just a job but a career. As Dana has indicated, it's really hard work, but it is worthwhile in the end. As Duran indicated, he's a living, breathing testimonial to what the good things can happen to you, for you, by going through this program. So we are fully behind this effort. You can get synced with the CCC. You can come go to the Urban League website. We have a lot of their branding on our website. I believe Dana will also provide you with an opportunity and a link a little bit later on in the presentation where you can contact the CCC directly. But Googling their website, you'll have many opportunities to get information on the CCC. And you can certainly contact the Urban League directly if you feel more comfortable to get any information that you would like to get on the CCC.
Well, very good, Al. Thanks so much. You guys have been such a terrific partner. And again, we are so honored and pleased that you afford us this opportunity to come and share this with your family in San Diego, because we just really believe that this is going to be able to transform so many lives. And we want to make sure that folks in San Diego do know about it.
Absolutely.
Very good then. Thank you again. I really do appreciate it. So now let's get on to how you do it. How do you get into the California Conservation Corps and where to go to? So let's talk real quick about how to join. You can go to ccc.ca.gov. That's real simple. And you've got to make sure it's got 3 C's in it. If it doesn't have 3 C's, it's not the CCC. There, you can click on the Join Now button that's over there to the left. Join Now. You can also talk with a recruiter, and that's fine too, to get more information. But if you want to submit an application, join now. And all you got to do is put in your email address, establish a password, the stuff that you are so used to doing. Put in your first name, your last name, and you can fill out the whole thing right then, or that's enough, and we can get in touch with you from there. Don't be alarmed about the word opportunities. That's just talking about what you can do, the opportunities that are available for you in the California Conservation Corps. And you can pick out a location. Remember, there are a couple dozen locations. The majority of them are non-residential, but 9 of them you can live actually on campus. And so those are the blue ones where they have the green hats. Those are the non-residential locations where you commute back and forth every day. And then you can pick out that location. You can talk to a recruiter. We have an 800 number that you can always dial. Someone will pick up the phone during business hours. So you're not going to talk into a recording if you call us between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. You will get somebody on the phone at 800-952-5627. As Al said, go on over to our YouTube. Our YouTube has tons of videos. Just go to YouTube and put EC. That's all you got to do. It's going to come up, California Conservation Corps. And just watch some of the videos and learn about what it is that you could possibly be doing in the California Conservation Corps. And of course, you can go over to our website. You can go over to our Facebook. There are plenty of stories there. You can stay up to date on the very latest. And we also have Instagram that has tons of stories and photos and information about the California Conservation Corps. What your experience will be in there. So that is how you join. Again, ccc.ca.gov, 800-952-5627. And now it's time for those questions. I don't know if you've had a chance to jump down into the chat session yet, but if you do have questions, go ahead and send them on over right now that we can get this get your questions answered immediately. We have recruiters on the phone or on the line right now. That is Chris LaCourte, who you see up there at the top. He's a recruiter. Gemma Kapua, who is at our Vista Center. You can ask her questions as well. And we have just general information that we are able to do in the chat. So take your time, or no, don't take your time. Get in there in a hurry and ask your questions so that we'll be able to get those answered. Now, a couple folks want to know if this class is being recorded. And I do see the recording button on there, but I think that we're going to share that on social media later on. So we'll be able to have that. Somebody just give me a head nod on chat and make sure that I'm telling everybody the right thing. But we will have the I believe that we will have the video on social media and on the CCC website, and hopefully on the Urban League website as well, where you'll be able to get your be able to go back and view. I'm just taking a look at a couple of more things here. People are telling me, yes, I am saying the right thing, so I'm glad to hear that. So anyway, a couple more things I just wanted to share with you about your experience in the California Conservation Corps. They have to do with the pay, the scholarships, and how that all works. So I'm wanting to see if we could jump off of Al, because I don't want Al to feel like he is got to be for the focus. Everybody is looking at him. So let me talk to you just real quickly about some of the other things that you can do in the California Conservation Corps, especially when it comes to earning the scholarships. Now, it does take about a year's worth of time in the CCC to get that $8,000. But here's the really cool part about that, is that that's just the first year. You can do it again the second year. And that is a huge deal. So let's do the math on that real quick for everybody so that hopefully that will settle in. Because I know that when some people hear $1,905 a month, especially in the times that we're living in, they may say, well, that's not a whole lot of money. I can go over to Amazon and in the warehouse, and I can start off at $15, $16, maybe even $20 an hour. And they're right. Yeah, you can do that. But you're not going to come away with the experience that you're going to get that's going to lead to a truly meaningful career, and not just a job, but a career that will hopefully add stability to both your household and your family's household as well, to end that kind of a cycle. So if you're making $1,905 a month, and say you're doing it non-residential, you're living with your mom or your dad or your auntie, grandparents, and are able to save that rent money. So let's just do the math on that, $1,905 a month. And we're going to take out $200 a month for your taxes. Maybe. They'll probably give it to you right back. And so that takes it down to $1,705 a month. You have no rent. You're going to spend your food. So let's say $400 a month, and that's going to take you down to $1,305. And let's just say you've got to go out and party every single weekend. Well, you can't do that anymore, can't you? But say that you got to just do some kind of entertainment, and that's going to take you down to another $100 or so, $1,200, and you have a car note. Okay, $900 a month. So do the math on that. That's $10,000 a year if you wanted to put that into your pocket, plus the $8,000 you get from the scholarship. And it is not uncommon for folks who have been in the California Conservation Corps to leave after just one year with $15,000 of cash and scholarships in their pocket. That's a huge difference. That's a game changer. That means game changer. That means you can go to a community college and just live and focus on getting done with additional training if you wanted to do that. That's enough to get yourself set up with vehicle and transportation for a real meaningful career, and so that you have reliable transportation to get back and forth. There are so many ways that this time in here, both in the experience that you get, the training that you get, the network and bonds that you build in the CCC, plus the literal cash that's in your pocket. It's just such a game changer. So that's why I want to make sure that everyone just really understands about what difference the California Conservation Corps can make. So with that, I'm looking to see if anyone has any other questions at all. Go ahead and put them over into the chat. And I am looking. And Christina says, yes, save that money. And I don't blame you there. That is, it's the truth. That's what people talk about so much during their time in the CCC. They said at first they didn't think how they were going to make it on that kind of a budget. And then they realized, gee, this has paid off, and it's paid off in spades. And that's what Deron was sharing with us earlier. So with that, if there are any questions, either raise your hand or put them in the chat. Otherwise, I am just going to say thank you. Thank you to everybody for spending an hour with us tonight to learn more about the California Conservation Corps. And remember to call us on that 800 number. You can as well go to our website, click on there, just talk with a recruiter, and we will be back in touch with you very, very quickly. All right, so that is all that we have for this evening. I wish you well. Please stay healthy. I wish you all of that and yours in hard work, low pay, miserable conditions, and a whole lot more. Thank you.